Elephant toothpaste is a science experiment that has taken social media by storm, and it's enjoyable for adults and children alike. But how does the science behind it work? That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to do elephant toothpaste and how each of the supplies works in the experiment. So one of our first big supplies is going to be hydrogen peroxide, or H2O2. It's actually a toxin in high concentrations and can actually burn your skin, which is why I have goggles and gloves on. But wait, don't we use hydrogen peroxide to treat minor injuries? That's what this stuff is for. It's 3% hydrogen peroxide, but for this experiment we're going to use 30 volume hydrogen peroxide, which is much more concentrated. You can find it at a beauty supply store, and it actually will create the reaction that we're looking for in elephant toothpaste. But how do we get that reaction? This is just liquid. What causes the wonderful sudsy explosion to happen? To do that, we're going to use a catalyst called yeast. Yeast contains an enzyme called peroxidase, and peroxidase breaks down hydrogen peroxide immediately upon contact because hydrogen peroxide is bad for yeast. It decomposes hydrogen peroxide into two component substances, H2O and O2. But how do we still get an explosion out of this? Water, air, that doesn't create any sort of suds, does it? Well, we know what creates suds: soap. The purpose of the soap is to capture the O2 produced as the H2O2 decomposes into water and oxygen. It'll create this big sudsy geyser that creates the elephant toothpaste that everyone knows and loves. So first thing we're going to do is take our hydrogen peroxide. We're going to need about 250 milliliters, give or take a few of this. I'm going to be really careful as I pour it because it can be bad for your skin, for your eyes. And so I'll just pour it in, kind of eyeball about 250 milliliters. Next, we're going to want about 2 or 3 squirts of soap to help capture up our O2 in the experiment. And because I like the color green today, we're going to use green food coloring, just about 2 or 3 drops. We have our yeast here, which has been activating in warm water, and we're going to go ahead and pour it in, and we'll see what happens, all right? And so just to recap one more time what's going to happen, the yeast will react with the hydrogen peroxide, decomposing it immediately as a catalyst into water and oxygen, two completely harmless chemicals that we have every day, and that'll create our geyser. So here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Here it goes. And there you have it. And it's just going to keep going. Now, a cool thing about this reaction is that it's exothermic, which means it releases energy in the form of heat during the decomposition. And so you can see that it's creating these suds in this almost this cool, like, sudsy fashion, but it also is releasing a lot of heat. And you can feel it if you come in close to the suds. It's a really cool concept to explain to kids. So that is elephant toothpaste. Thank you very much.